welcome my dear students. In the last class we have learned operators. So what are the operators we have learned? Arithmetic operator, assignment operator, relational operator, conditional operator, increment and decrement operator, logical operators, bitwise operators and special operators. Afterwards we have learned these arithmetic expressions. This is also very important topic for 2 marks, and now here it comes evaluation of expressions. Okay, then we know what is an expressions. Expression is any valid expressions means any valid equation to be solved. It may be in algebraic expressions. We have to solve that algebraic expressions in C expressions. So we have to make this mathematical equation into C equations and we have to make it solve, right? In the same sense, whenever we are evaluating an expressions, then we are using the syntax of variable is equal to expression. Okay, variable is equal to expression. This expression consists of constants, digits and any valid operators and also your precedence. Now whenever I am taking an expression, here we have to look it over whether it has to be evaluated from left to right or from right to left. Okay, so then how it is decided from we have to execute from left to right or right to left? This is called as associativity. Then what do you mean by associativity? The evaluation of expression either from left to right or right to left is called as associativity. This associativity is depends upon the priority of an operator. So based on the priority means preference. Based on the preference of an operator, it will be evaluated. Okay. Now let me see according to the mathematics, as we know BODMAS, right? What is a BODMAS? What is a BODMAS? As you know, BODMAS. In mathematics, if brackets consist, it will be evaluated. Of consist, it will be evaluated first. Next, division is having highest priority, and next multiplication is having highest priority, and addition and subtraction is having equivalent priority. Okay, by using this BODMAS rules, what we are doing, we are evaluating our expression. For example, if you see here x is equal to a into b minus c, according to the BODMAS rule, which one is having highest priority? Multiplication. So first here a into b will be evaluated first. Afterwards, whatever the value we are getting from the a into b, we are subtracting it from c. Okay, so it is evaluating from left to right. Now y is equal to b by c into a. If you observe here, division is having highest precedence, then b by c is evaluated first, later onwards the value with into a will be evaluated. If you see here z is equal to a by b minus c plus d, then it will be evaluated b by c first, later onwards plus and minus is having the same preference, then this value will be subtracted after this value, next addition will be evaluated. Okay, so to illustrate this example, let me take this sample example. Here I am taking main function float a b c x y z and I am assigning a is equal to 9, b is equal to 12, c is equal to 13. Now let me see in x I am using one expression. Okay, this is by, not as an I. Okay, now let me check a minus b by 3 plus c into 2 minus 1. According to the BODMAS rule, which one should be evaluated first? B by 3 should be evaluated first. Okay, what is the b value? 12. 12 by 3, what is the quotient we are getting? 4. Okay, next a minus, here it will be evaluated first. What is the c value? 3. 3 into 2, 6. Okay, afterwards it will be evaluated from left to right only. Now 9 minus 4, that is 5, will become plus 6 minus 1, it is a 5. This 2 will be added. 5 plus 6, 11 will be get. Okay, If I do the same expression with using the brackets, whatever the expression in the bracket will evaluated first, and next preference will be evaluated next. And now z, in the z I am taking the same expression, I am modifying little with a minus b. See, please observe here, I am placing it with a bracket b by 3 plus c into 2 minus 1. First, this bracket statement will be evaluated, and next, whatever the preference is, the highest precedence is exist, it will be evaluated, and we are getting the output. If I evaluate the first expression, I am getting the 10.00. If I evaluated the second expression, I'm getting the 7.00, and if I evaluate the third expression, I'm getting the 4.00. So I'm taking the same expression. If I made with a little modification with brackets, then you are getting different outputs. So this is the evaluation of your sample programs. Okay, now let me see whether it am getting the same output or not. I'm going my notepad. Yes, in the notepad I'm pasting, and what we have to add here? Yes, anybody? Yes, hash include stdio.h, and another file is hash include tonio.h. Next it is void main. Okay, next I'm here mentioning my statement as a sample evaluation of expression. As you know, what is a comment, right? It is a single line comment. Now I am declaring the variables. After the declaring the variables, what do I have to do? I have to clear the screen. Okay, now I am processed. Afterwards, to get the result, we have to get the result as getch. Now I am saving this file. Where to save? While saving, you have to confirm whether you have entered into the C drive. Yes, I am taking the C drive, turbo C3 or turbo C4 in this bin, and I am saving eval.c. While saving, .c is a must. I am closing this, and I am minimizing, and I am minimizing this, and I am opening my editor. Okay. While opening this editor, it is taking some time. Let me check. Yes, start the turbo C++. It is starting, and I'm opening. What is the name of a file? Eval.c. Yes. Now fi key. Yes. Let me check. I'm compiling. How to compile? Alt F9. So please observe here why I am taking here it is a %f, because the data type is float. Okay, so you are assigning the value of integer, but it automatically stores as a floating point value. Okay, now I am compiling. Alt F9. Is there any error? No. Now I am running. How running? Control F9. If I run, I am getting 10.00, 7.00, and 4.000. Okay, so likewise you can evaluate your program. Yes. Now, precedence of arithmetic operator. As we know, whenever we are using multiple operators, we should know what is the priority. Okay. So this is also very important concept. Here we are evaluating the expression either from left to right as well as right to left. According to the BODMAS rule, we see the highest priority of operator is your multiplication by and percentile, and lowest priority is plus and minus. Okay, if I take the evaluation, if I want to explain this, it will be evaluated from left to right. Okay, already we have taken this program. We will see how it will be evaluated. A minus b by 3 plus c into 2 minus 1. When a is equal to 9, b is equal to 12, c is equal to 3. Now I am replacing with the values. After replacing the values, I am getting the expression like this. According to this, highest priority, which one should evaluate first? It is division, right? In the first step, I am dividing 12 by 3. That is, I am getting the quotient value as 4. Next, it will become 9 minus 4 plus 3 into 2 minus 1. According to this expression, which operator is having next highest priority? 3 into 2. So now 9 minus 4 plus 6 minus 1 will be evaluated. While coming to the second pass, while elaborating this, I am doing x is equal to, now if you see 9 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6, plus and minus is having same preference, priority, precedence. Hence 9 minus 5 will be evaluated later onwards. It will be added to the plus and it will be added to the minus, and I am getting the result. However, if you modify that above expression with some brackets, then you are getting newer output. According to this expression, if you modify it, then what happens? It will evaluate 12 by first, it will evaluate 3 plus 3 first, that is a 6. Okay, and 12 by 6 is possible, and hence this 12 by 6 I am getting it as a 2 as a quotient. Afterwards, here 2 minus 1 will be evaluated, we are getting 1. Okay, so hence 9 minus 2 I am getting the result as 7. So likewise, if you modify that, then we are getting the output. Okay, so next let us see some computational problems. Sometimes 1.0 by 3.0 is possible, sometimes it is not possible. Okay, this case is, we will see, suppose after completion of your BCA graduation, you got selected in a company. Your salary per month is 1.5k. What do you mean by 1.5? 1,50,000. Okay, let us assume. Suppose 1.5k means it is a float data type, right? If it is a float, then what you have to do? You have to mention it as a float. If you try to make it as a integer, then what happens? It will store only 1k. Then what happens? 0.5k you are losing. These type of data losses are happening. So now it is a very important concept. This concept is called as type conversion in expression. This concept is called as type concept conversion in expression. So here the conversion in the, please observe here, type means your data type. What you are doing? Converting. Okay, the conversion of a data type from one data type to another data type is called as conversion. Okay, it is also called as casting. This concept is also called as casting. Please observe here, it is a very essential concept for 2 marks as well as 5 marks. One question will come, so you have to know what do you mean by casting. What do you mean by casting? The process of conversion of one data type to another data type. The process of conversion of one data type to another data type is called as casting. In your C, it supports two types of casting. One is implicit and another one is explicit. Okay, so first one is implicit casting and another one is explicit casting. Implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. To do this implicit type conversion, C is automatically converts your lower data type to, sorry, higher data type to lower data type. But whenever I am converting higher data type to lower data type, data loss is possible. Whenever you are converting lower data type to higher data type, there is no data loss is possible. For example, as we know, what is the range of character range is 256. How many bytes it will consume? 1 byte. What is the integer range? Minus 32,7682, positive value of 32,768. What is its memory consumption? Storage 2 bytes. Float 4 bytes. Minus 3.4e minus 38 to positive value of 3.4e 38. And next, double. If you try to convert, storage is 8 bytes and its range is minus 1.7e minus 308 to positive value of 308, right? So whenever I am converting lower data type, that is, if you convert character into integer, no problem. Okay, if you are converting character into float, no problem. Character into double, no problem. Suppose if you try to convert the double to character, then data loss is happening. Okay, just assume that previous example, if your salary is 1.5k, that I am treating it as a double. If you try to forcefully convert into integer, then what happens? You will lose 50,000 of salary. Got it? So in this, sometimes it is possible to convert directly one data type to another data type by using assignment operator. Okay, how it is possible? By using assignment operator. For example, let us see example. We just see, I'm taking int a comma int a comma b comma c char d float f double y. Okay, now let me see. I am storing a is equal to d. Now what I am doing, I am storing the character value in a. What is a? Integer. So I am converting lower data type into higher data type. Now there is no data loss. Data loss not happens. Okay, now let us see float, sorry, f is equal to a. Now what it is happening? No data loss, because f is a float data type and a is the integer data type. So you are converting lower data type to higher data type. No data loss is happen. Okay, got it? Here also data loss is not possible. Suppose if I did b is equal to f, then what happens? F is a float value, right? So then here it comes loss of data. Here it comes loss of data. So these are the possible losses whenever you are converting a higher data type to lower data type. Okay, so here the rules are given, that same thing you have to follow. All short and character are automatically converted into integer. Some of the modifiers are also we are using, that is a short, long, signed, unsigned, all these are we are using, and we are following this rule. To just make a note of these four primary data type as a necessary. Okay, if you convert character data type to integer data type, no data loss is happens. If you try to convert integer type to character data type, then data loss is happening. Okay, so you have to be very particular on this. So sometimes it is possible, sometimes it is not possible. Then what is an implicit conversion? The conversion of a data type, the conversion of one data type to another data type by using assignment operator. Using assignment operator is called as implicit conversion. Now I am coming to the explicit conversion. Sometimes we have to forcefully convert one data type to another data type. Okay, sometimes we have to get accurate result. Sometimes we have to forcefully convert one data type to another data type. Such type of a conversion is called as explicit conversion or casting a value. Okay, then how to identify this explicit conversion? What is explicit conversion? The conversion of one data type to another data type by force is called as explicit conversion. Got it? Yes. Now let us see a simple syntax. Here the syntax is given. Here the type name, that type name should be within a bracket and the expression. Okay, type name is within the bracket and the expression. Clear? Yes, expression means any value or any equations also, right? Here we are seeing some example. Here x is equal to int of 7.5. Then what I am doing, this 7.5 is a float, I am forcefully converting into integer. Okay, so 7.5 is forcefully converted into integer, means in x it will store only 7, it will skip 0.5 value. Okay, here once again let me check, a is equal to int of 21.3 by int of 4.5. then how it is happening? The process will be done, we are forcefully converting 21.3 into integer, that is 21, int of 4.5 to, that is forcefully converting into 4, it will process 21 by 4 by truncating point values. Now b is equal to double of sum by n. Whatever the value we are getting from sum by n, it is forcefully converting into double. Okay, likewise we are converting your one data type to another data type by force. This is the syntax of typecasting. And next our concept is operator precedence and associativity. Already we have seen the operator precedence, but in our C programming till now we have seen a numerous of operators. On that operators, we have to identify the levels of operators. Okay, the priority of operators and the associativity of operators. Then what do you mean by an associativity? Whenever a mathematical expression is given or C expression is given, the evaluation of expression from left to right or right to left is called as an associativity. For example, let us see here one condition is given. If x equal to 10 plus 15, logical and which and it is logical and y less than 10. In this expression, which expression should be evaluated first, whether it is x equal to 10 plus 15 or y less than 10, we do not know, right? According to the precedence rule, equal to and less than is having lesser priority than addition. Hence addition will be evaluated first. 10 plus 15 will be evaluated first. Now the equation will be turned into x equal to 25 and y less than 10. On this, it will be evaluated from left to right, because equal to and less than is having same priority. So if I want to evaluate this expression, I am assuming x is equal to 20 and y is equal to 5. 20 equal to 25, condition false. 5 less than 10, condition true. False true in logical and is false. Got it? Likewise you can do it. Here one table is given, please go through it. You are identifying the associativity and ranks. So in your expressions, if you are having brackets, parentheses or square brackets, then its associativity is left to right and it's having the highest priority, highest rank. Okay, and next it comes unary plus, unary minus, plus plus, all these are the rank 2. It evaluates from right to left. Here unary plus, unary minus are your either assignment operators as well as increment and decrement operators. Next in the rank 3 it will come, please observe here, all these are evaluated from right to left, not from left to right. It will evaluate from right to left. Okay, now in the rank 3 it will comes multiplication, percentile as well as division. And in the rank 4th it will come addition and subtraction. All these are the left to right and all these things. So don't bother about all these things, you just keep in your mind as BODMAS rule. According to the BODMAS rule, it will evaluates. Okay, please keep in that mind. Next, I am here coming as mathematical function. Till now we are evaluating simple programs, right? So now if I want to perform mathematical calculations, then we have to use mathematical functions. If I want to use the mathematical functions in my program, then one header file has to be used in my programs, that is math.h header file has to be included in my program. So let us see the functions and meanings. If you see the trigonometric functions, you have learned these concepts in your 10th and PUC. If you are a science stream students as well as math students, 10th, 9th, 8th you have seen this. So cosine value, sine value, right, and hyperbolic functions. All these functions if you want to perform, then it will be resides in math.h header file. Now here it comes other functions. These are very important function. Please keep in your mind, some of a program will ask, and sometimes 2 marks question is also asked. Okay, here ceil of x function is there. Here x is the value. Okay, x rounded up to the nearest integer. For example, ceil of 9.5 I am giving. Then how to round this value? It will be round to the nearest value as 10. For example, exponent of 7. exp of x means x is the value. Here the value, whatever the value you are using, it will become e to the power of x. Okay, next FAPS. FAPS stands for absolute value. If you enter the value of x as a negative, then you are getting it as a positive. And next one is a floor. Floor is also rounded down to the nearest integer. For example, if I give the 9.5, it will rounds 9. Okay, not as a not 10. But ceil, what it will happens? It will round down the nearest integer. But floor, it will round down nearest integer. 9.5 if you given, it will be round to the 9. F mod x comma y, then remainder of x by y. So whatever the remainder value, I am getting here. If you want to perform logarithm values, you can use log of x. X is the value, log of 5, log of 2, log of 10. Okay, log base 10 of x. Please observe here, it is base 10. Log of 10 x, in the sense log of base 10 of x value, you are getting this value. Next, this 2 is very important. We will calculate some program related to this. This is a power function, power of x comma y. This can be written as x to the power of y. Okay, so what is the power of x comma y? X to the power of y. And the square root of x, it will give the square root of x. For example, square root of 4, then what is the output? It will give the 2. Okay, likewise you will evaluate these mathematical function. Now let me check here, some sample programs I have placed. We will see whether it will works or not. Okay, so what is the first program? Find the square root of the entered number. I am copying first, I am taking the notepad and pasting. As we know, what is the mistakes? So whatever the number I am entering from the keyboard, I have to calculate the square root. Okay, let me check. These are the mistakes, right? As we know, I am modifying here. So what is the purpose of scanf? To read the value from the keyboard, and what I am doing here. Okay, yes, clear. Now let us see here. I am saving this. Where to save? While saving, you have to be clear that you are saving in correct directory. Okay, correct folder. So I am saving it is square root sqr.c. I am saving it as c. Now let us see this program first. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h. Why? Because we want to perform mathematical operation, mathematical functions. So square root is a mathematical functions. For that you have to use math.h. Afterwards you are using the main function, open curly brace, you are declaring two variables, int c comma n. Next, clear screen. Now you are writing one output statement here, %d is not required, and here writing enter a number. From the keyboard you are entering the value. Okay, after entering the value, where that value will store? In n. Now please observe here, c is equal to sqrt of n. Okay, so whatever the value you have entered, it will automatically finds its a square root and it will be stored in the c. The square root of the number is %d c. If I want to give it a clearly, the square root of the number %d is equal to %d, that is n comma c. What is the value of n? Please observe here, n comma c. Whatever the value you have entered, it will give the output. Okay, I am modifying save and go to the Turbo C++ editor. And what is our program name? I am pressing Alt Enter for the full screen. sqr.c. Okay, sqr.c. Is it our program? Yes. Now let us just check. I am compiling. One error is exist. Let us see that error. What is that error? Declaration terminated incorrectly. If you see here, it is terminated with a colon. It should be always semicolon. Okay, now save it and compile it. And one more error is exist. Declaration terminated incorrectly. Why? You have not saved, you have not closed. Yes, why it is? Because after n we have given the comma. Okay, yes. Now once again save, compile and run. Now enter the number. I am entering 25. What is the output of 25? It is 5, right? I am entering that. If you see here, it has given the mistake, right? Why it is a mistake means I have used the numlock. Please observe here, whenever you are using this Turbo C++ editor, don't use numlock. You have to use upper keypad numbers. Okay, so that is why I got wrong answer. Now once again I am saving, compiling and running. Now I am entering the value to 5. Now you are seeing the square root of the number is 25 equal to 5. Okay, actually square root of 25 is 5. Got it? Okay, So now you understand why I have write 2 percentile d here. In 1 percentile d it consists of the entered number, and 1 percentile d it consists of a result number. Got it? And this is your first program, and I am moving to the second program. Then what is your second program? Let us see that. Write a program to find the real absolute value of a given number. Now I am copying, I'm coming, and I'm taking new file, and I'm pasting, and you have to modify this, right? So before modifying, you have to add all the stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h. Next you are defining the variable clear screen. Now you are entering the number. Whatever the number you have entered, it will be displayed in positive. Okay, so to do this, we have to purposefully enter negative value. If you don't enter the negative value, then you won't get the differences. And while saving, I'm giving fab.c. Okay, I'm coming to my editor, and I'm alt enter full screen, and I'm opening the file. What is the file name? fab.c. Yes, here are having errors, right? So I didn't correct it. We have to correct this. Okay, yes, hope you have understand this concept. What is the purpose of scanf? To read the value from the keyboard. Yes, now let us see here. Yes, now save it. Here please observe here, float right, percentile f. Okay, yes, now I am compiling, I am running. Enter a number. Purposefully what we have to do, we have to enter the negative value, otherwise we won't get what is the fabs, right? What is the purpose of fabs? If you enter the negative value, it will give absolute positive value 99.87. okay, if I press the enter key, what happens? It will give the result in positive value. Clear? Yes, absolute value will be getting. Okay, alt enter. Now let me see another program. What is another program here? Write a program to read a number and find the exponential value, square root value, common logarithm value, and natural logarithm value of a given number. We have to find all these numbers. For do that, I'm copying and I'm pasting. Okay, here as we know what is the mistakes, you better always rectify that mistakes if you know. Otherwise, we have to change it in the editor. Okay, yes, yes. So this is our program. If it want execute, please observe here, I am not giving hash code anything. If you try to execute this, you are getting an errors. Okay, please observe here, I'm saving mix.c. I'm saving it as a mix.c. Okay, I'm coming to the editor, alt enter, I'm pressing mix.c, and I'm pressing F5. Now you check it, I'm compiling. Whenever I'm compiling, I'm getting an error. What is that error? Statement missing. Okay, yes, let me make this statement correct. Here the semicolon has missed, I'm making semicolon, save, and I'm compiling. Whenever compiling, it gets an error, right? X is assigned a value, it is never used. Okay, because we have to display here, I am displaying the wrong value. Okay, it is not an or, it should be an is x. Okay, okay, and I'm pressing and I'm compiling. If I compiled, I'm not having any errors, because sometimes if it is on a higher version editor, it automatically accepts, otherwise it won't accepts. Okay, enter a number, I'm entering 1 2 3. No. So it is always better to write the header files. Okay, don't get confused. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, and hash include math.h, because we are performing mathematical function, right? So here we are suggesting to perform exponential value, square root value, common logarithm value. After declaring the variable, what I am doing, I'm doing the clear screen. Now first I'm displaying output function, that is enter a number. Through from the keyboard we have to read a number, and we are processing one statement. What I am processing here, exponent of n. Whatever the value you are giving, it will become e power n. E power is 10 power n. Okay, so afterwards you are displaying that value, and next you are calculating the square root of that value, entered number. What is the entered number? It will give the square root, and next you are displaying the square root, and also you are displaying the logarithm value of that entered number, and also you are displaying the log 10 value of entered number. Now you are giving the get ch and saving and compiling and running. Now I am giving the number as 5. Number is 5. Okay, it is not getting a proper because I made a mistake. Whenever we have to enter, we are not supposed to use the keypad, num keypad. We have to use the upper keyword. Now let me check whether I am getting the proper output. We are getting the proper output, but it is getting a confusion. Why? We have not used this /n. If you don't use the /n, then you are getting confusion of your output is displaying, but it is not displaying right now, and make it as a /n. Yes, now compile it and run it. Now you enter the 5. You are seeing exponent value of enter number is 5, exponent value of 5, it is giving 148.44, and square root is 2.23, and natural logarithm is it is actually e power 5. Okay, I do not know what is the exact e power, it is sometimes varying. Okay, and natural log value it is 1.60943, and common log value it is 0.698970. So likewise it will be evaluated. And next we will see some sample program. Here let us see, these are the very important program. I'm copying base value and power as exponent value. We have to enter and calculate the exponent value. Okay, take the new file, paste it, and better always add hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, and also void main. After declaring the variable, clear screen, and afterwards it is double quotation. It is modify the double quotations. We have to enter a number. Here pt is there, it is not a pt. Printf. Okay, and scanf it is there, and we have to give the right double quotations. Yes, ampersand a, ampersand b. We have to read two values. We have to calculate the power of a value. For example, if I enter 2 3, then what it will show, power of 2 3 means 2 to the power of 3, then it will returns the result. Okay, so your pt is there, don't try to pt, it is a printf. And afterwards get ch. Okay, so this is a program. I'm saving pow.c. so I'm opening your editor, alt enter, I'm opening my file pow.c. it is not opened, maybe it has not saved, I think so, it is not supposed to be used. Alt enter, we have to open our file. Yes, we have not saved, right? Let us save and go through it. Once again try to open pow.c. Alt enter, go to the file, open pow.c. so it is not opening. Let me make save as pow1.c. Okay, pow1 dot c f3 pow1 dot c. See, our program is coming. Sometimes it is not coming. In compiling, running, I'm entering the value 2 as base and 3 as exponent. So it is giving domain error. Why? Let me check. Because please observe here, we have not mentioned the math.h. Okay, clear? I should include math.h. If you are performing mathematical function, you have to save it, compile it and run it. Now 2 and 3. Now it is showing value 0. Why it is showing 2 3? 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Ampersand c is equal to power of a comma b. It is correct actually. So sometimes if it get like that, then what you have to do, quit from your editor and minimize it. Once again quit it and once again you open it. Okay, and start Servo C++. Now it is opened. Close it, open pow1 dot c and fi, compile it and run it. Now it is 2 3. Now it is getting right answer, right? Clear? Yes. So likewise you can execute your programs, and here also some program is there. These are very important. Already you are familiar with this concept. 3 sides of a triangle. If you read the 3 sides of a triangle, then find the area of a triangle. Okay, so for the 3 sides, as we know what is the formula, s is equal to half into length into breadth into height, right? Sorry, we have to calculate the s value. After calculating, you have to calculate the square root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. So this is your program. So here it is exist, you can do that. Okay, here it is there, we will share it. What you are done, enter the 3 sides of angles. We have to enter the a b c value and we have to calculate the s. A plus b plus c by 2. If I done, if you did, then you are getting the s value, then you are calculating the area of a triangle. SQRT of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. This is the formula. So here the square root will be processed and it will be stored in the area, and you are directly displaying that value. Okay, and the 3 coefficient quadratic expression, as we know, minus b plus or minus root of square root of b square minus 4ac. So this will be asked for some 2 marks as well as a 5 marks question. Please go through it. And here some of presidency program is there, and we will share this notes in your group. Please go through these programs, and if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask us. And this is the end of a chapter, and this chapter is very essential chapter. And in this chapter we have learned different kinds of operators and evaluation of expressions and and so on. These are very essential topic. And here one question will be asked. I will show you. Let us see. This question will ask every time. We'll see here. Not this. Related to the evaluation of expression, this program will ask. I will show solved question paper. Here we are having question papers. Okay, so let me check. This is your question paper. It is for 2018, 2017, 16. Okay, I will share this question paper. You just go through in your WhatsApp group and try to solve whatever the topic is done. Okay, see here the question is asking me like this: determine the value of the each. Okay, you have to process it and you have to print the value. And let us see. Yes, this is the question. It is asking what is implicit conversion. Assume, solve this expression. Here the expression is given. Please observe here. X is equal to a by I plus I into b minus c. This is the expression. Assume that int I comma x integer value as I comma x, float value as b, and double value is c. Now long int as a. I'm writing the expression as it is. X is equal to a by I plus I into b minus c. Now first, according to this expression, which one is evaluated first? By division will be executed because it is having highest precedence, right? Now if you see a as long int and I as int, long int by int, it become a float. Okay, because long int range is equivalence to float. That is why a is a long integer value, I is the integer value. We are processing long value by integer value, it automatically turn to float. And next you are calculating I into b. What is I? Integer. What is b? Float. So integer into float, if you process, then you are getting the float. Got it? And next what it is happening here? Minus c. What is the c? Double value. Okay, now after processing this I am getting the long, after processing this I am getting the float. Now if it is a long float, then it is converting into float. Float plus a float, it will become a float. Okay, float minus double, the result will be stored in integer as double. So automatically you are try to solving this and you are getting the output as integer. Because of this implicit conversion, you are losing the data. Hope you have understand this concept. If you have this query, let me ask in the group, I will clarify. Thank you.